It's Friday. It's 8 o'clock. It's the Monte Zone.
Yeah! He said the Monte Zone.
I said the Monte Zone, yes.
And it's not 8 o'clock, it's about 8:05.
To be fair, this has been a bit of a catalogue of problems this evening, I have to say. Nothing's been quite set up right. The music didn't come on. My internet didn't want to work. Live chat's broken and not there at the moment.
I can still see live chat.
That's the main thing. That is the main thing. Live chat is there. That's the main thing. There we go. there's
We are
chat.
here, at least.
We are here. We're here. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. It's the Monte Zone with me, Monty Man, and my co-host tonight, G Star. How you doing, G?
I am good. How are you?
I'm well now. We're live and everything's in the right place. About a quarter of an hour ago, I couldn't even hear G. My internet was just dying on its ass, and I thought, oh my god, this is never going to work. But a quick reboot of everything, and put us a bit behind, but we're here.
Here we are, finally.
Here we are.
Before we get any further, I just want to, whilst I remember, I just want to say a bit of a shout out to, I don't think he'll be joining us this evening, but one of our previous and loyal viewers, Dan M. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Dan.
Oh, happy birthday, Dan.
So at least he can watch this back and he can see the birthday message. So, yeah, it's Dan M's birthday today.
Very cool. Very cool.
And evening to everybody that's joined us in chat so far.
Yeah, I see we've got Mazam Bob is on, my TNG co-host, Tavona, Tavykins. Tavykins is on. Good evening, Tavykins. And Kevin, good evening, Kevin, sir. It's good, very good to see you. Very good to see you on this evening. And Mickey. Yeah, so he's at the top there with his. He's there with his aliens. He's come in peace, not shoot to kill.
Mickey was on Earth, and so was Tavi. They were sitting there, saying hi in chat like would have been about 5 minutes before we went live, but ended up being 10 minutes before we went live.
Yeah, I don't have my blood wine today. I've got Chardonnay. So cheers.
Oh, how very poosh. I have my usual Hufflepuff goblet.
You have Hufflepuff goblet?
Yeah. So, and I also wanted to say, there's not been any G-Star Vault this week or story time. You guys have probably noticed. And that's because I've been working on some music instead this week. So I give myself a little bit of a break to do a little bit of composing. So
very cool. That's very good. It's good to see you get back to your music, G. It's good to see. Good to see.
Yeah.
Tonight we're here.
How's your week been?
My week's been pretty good. Yeah, I can't complain. We had a fantastic time on the TNG review show on Wednesday.
It was fun
with everybody coming on live on the stream. I think we're going to do a lot more of that because, quite frankly, I'm boring. So the more people on, the more interesting people on, the better for the show. Quite frankly, but I think Tavykins there. I think is going to be the new third presenter. We loved having Tavi on. So, yes, more of that in future, I think. But tonight, we're here to talk about UFOs. And in particular, the Congressional hearings that recently took place. Yeah.
Yeah, talking a little bit about that and some other stuff. Later on, we're going to have the game favorite of real or fake. So you guys will have to be fast on the chat to get your right or wrong answers in and earn your Monte Zone points. I think there's about a 10-second lag at the moment between chat and real time. So yeah, you'll have to be quick on the buzzer.
Yeah, yeah. I love a good real or fake.
Yeah.
Not.
Tonight's real or fake is, well, all real and fake really is about me trying to support everybody looking at things differently and having that eye to be objective and scrutinize what they're seeing, because here on the Vault, that's what we do. We do a lot of looking at footage and looking at photography and images. So that's what it's all about. And tonight is basically just looking at Photoshop and photography and just saying whether you can see whether it's real or whether you can see whether it's fake.
Cool. I look forward to that. Obviously, we're talking about UFOs, so if you guys have got your own questions, your own thoughts about the congressional review or the new NASA initiative into UAPs, let us know what you think about the whole subject in chat. Yeah, and get the discussion going as well.
Cool.
Tavi's driving at the moment, so she can't see, but you can always look at it later, Tavi. It's not a problem. Not a problem.
Maz said she loves the real or fake game.
Yeah.
I think a few people get very competitive and passionate about the real or fake.
Who does?
Oh, just a few people with the similar surname, shall we say?
Things beginning with M.
Yeah. Evening, Katie. Fitness.
How are you feeling, Mr. Fitness? He's not been well this week, bless him.
Oh, yes, he's had the little C.
He's had the little C, yeah. Hopefully you're on the mend. Hopefully he's on the mend now.
Give us a wave if you're on the mend.
Yeah, give us a wave. So, UFOs, UAPs. I don't know
UAPs.
what's the favourite acronym at the moment, but
well, so earlier today, because I was going to read out, kind of give let's say, a narrated overview of all the congressional hearings, just in case anybody's watching that isn't too familiar with what's been going on and all the exact details of what's been happening. Earlier today, I found a video that kind of puts everything into 10 minutes and kind of just gives you all the highlights. However, it is a little bit boring. It starts off kind of
no. Well, you can give it to us then. I think I'd rather listen to you, G. Yeah.
What I'll do is there's some stuff we'll talk about, so I may stop and play the video for a little bit and just show some of the images, really, more so than anything. Right. So this, we're as we said, we're talking all about the congressional hearings that have been taking place in the US. They took place on Tuesday, May 17th of this year, 2022. So it's now been a good sort of 6 weeks since all of this has hit down. They focused on unidentified flying objects, UFOs, and it's drawn mixed reviews. Eagerly awaited by many, it was the first open congressional hearing on UFOs, or UAPs, which stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, as they've recently rebranded it in the last sort of half century. Congressman Andre Carson, who's the chairman of the House of Intelligence, Counterterrorism, Counterintelligence, and Counterproliferation Subcommittee, kicked off Tuesday's hearings by noting that more than 50 years ago, the US government ended Project Blue Book, an effort to catalogue and understand sightings of objects in the air that could not be immediately explained. So I'm going to stop there for a minute.
Andre Carson is a Republican. I don't know if that makes any. That doesn't really make any difference, but he's on the Republican side of Congress.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I just think I think it's interesting if you look at the history of talking about UAPs in Congress. That you got to look at politics like this can't exist in isolation without looking at the the parties and what they're trying to sell as well. So it's just interesting that this has come up from Andre Carson, who is a Republican.
It's not
the last
just
time,
him.
No, but the last time it was pushed, it was a chap called Harry Reid. I don't know if you know Harry Reid.
No.
But he was one of the biggest advocates in Congress for having an initiative to look at UAPs, and he was a Democrat. So the two main pushes of this kind of work within Congress is bipartisan and come from different people at different sides of the aisle, which is just an interesting thing in itself.
Yeah, I mean, this is just giving a bit of a overview of how it started. I mean, there's lots of different people involved, and there's people from, I think, so he's from, as I said, the House of Intelligence of Counterterrorism, and blah, blah, blah. And then there's people there that are from the part of the same group that are from the military, different people representing different areas. But what was really interesting, and just before I get into that, I just want to say, KD Fitness waved his hand to say that he's on the mend. So that's great.
Good.
And then he asked, is there any of G-Star's surprise guests, eyewitnesses? I'm not sure what he's referring to there, unless he's referring to just any surprise guests. But at the moment, unless anybody wants to pop in.
If anybody wants to come in, say hello. If anybody wants to come into the studio and they have something to say on the subject, then please let us know. You're very welcome to come and join us.
When Smiler joins in, she'll
post a link. Yeah.
Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about in this first section, like how these hearings kicked off, is that he basically made this speech where he confirmed that the government ended Project Blue Book, an effort to catalogue and understand sightings of objects. Now, here's the thing. For a lot of people, that's a great thing that it's finally been confirmed, that because Project Blue Book was something that basically the government always kind of denied. The thing that makes this not as exciting as it could be is the fact that if you're studied in the subject of ufology and the history of this kind of, you'd know that there's a lot of stuff out there that already proved that Project Blue Book had taken place and was a thing, wasn't just a conspiracy theory. So, documents have been found where the program was mentioned. But this was a guy in the US government, in Congress, confirming for the first time that Project Blue Book had been a thing, but they closed it down 50 years ago. So just remember that point. 50 years ago, they were trying to explore and had issues with unidentified flying objects, which was what they were called then, and now we call them UAPs, mostly. So that's the first bit. What's your thoughts on that, Monte?
Yeah, no, it's been 50 years that it's brought up in Congress. There has been some other bits and pieces going on in between that time. As I said, there was Harry Reid. He was a Democrat senator. He pushed for something through Congress. There wasn't an open Congress review, but he did manage to get set up the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, ATIP, which was a sort of precursor to the Department of Defense's Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force. But so there have been things that have gone on in between that time, but nothing as big as this review and this push that we've currently got now.
Yeah. So in 2017, it was revealed for the first time, Carson said, that the U.S. Department of Defense had quietly restarted a similar organization tracking what we now call UAPs. So that's probably what you're referring to.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, he added Congress rewrote the charter for that organization, which is now called the Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group, otherwise known as OMISG. AOIMSG for
Actually,
short.
the O is silent, and they tend to call it AIMSAW.
AIMSAW.
Yeah,
That
I don't know
make any sense whatsoever.
But
it ends with a G.
Yeah, I know, but they tend to call it AIMSAW for some reason. Anyway.
So basically, at the start of his speech, he starts saying, "Today, we will bring that organization out of the shadows. This hearing and our oversight work has a simple idea at its core. Unidentified aerial phenomena are a potential national security threat, and they need to be treated that way." So this is basically the core fundamental reason why this is coming up in Congress. It's because they're saying it's a national security threat. So this is why they need funding. They need a sub committee, this program, this project involving lots of different people from different areas of both the US military and the US government to be part of this project.
And I think because up to now, this sort of thing has been tied in with, conspiracy theories, alternative sciences and all this sort of thing, it stigmatizes any Air Force or military people coming forward and saying they've seen something or something weird's happened, because they don't want to be labeled a nut. So what they're trying to do is, what they're saying here is, this is an official Department of Defense thing now. And if you see anything like this, it's your duty to report it under this task force, and it'll be treated seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I don't know, already, like, it's hard for me to work my way through this. For somebody who's been looking into the subject matter for so long, I mean, in one breath, if this is all like genuine, I don't know if you've watched some of the recent vaults, but if this is all genuine, then it sort of rewrites the history of ufology in some sense and in some ways, because, and effectively they're going, we do not know what they are. They are a threat. So, when you think about something like Roswell, 1947, that never happened, if we believe that this is true. So leaves me in a bit of a spin, but let's carry